talk about fears. Let's talk about love. Yeah, I got fears, but I ain't got no love. Yes, I got fears. Fear of plane crash. Fear of car crash. Oh, fear of sex. Fear of alcohol.
Okay, welcome to Tuesday. Tuesday we have Ken's key clue. And although there's a lot of clues in this case, you know, the ligature type marks on Theresa's neck is definitely a key clue. Okay? In addition, the way her body was found naked is obviously a key clue. The body dump location off of a major highway is a very key clue, especially in my first assessment. There's no doubt that played a major role. But what I'm about to tell you now, to me, is the biggest key clue. And that is quaaludes and eggs. Now, what does that have to do with anything? Well, according to three, so not one, not two, three of Theresa's siblings, they recall being told that during the autopsy, Theresa was found with quaaludes and undigested eggs in her stomach. Now, why is that a key clue? She's at the train stop restaurant at 10 o'clock at night, or whenever she was there during that time frame. Late at night. Well, to me it's late at night. Some people might think that's early to be out. Then she goes to the Presidential Arms apartment building with those individuals. And she's there for a good amount of time, till at least 4 in the morning. 4:30 in the morning, and she leaves out of there in a huff, as we talked about yesterday. And then she is taken by the truck drivers in front of the police station. Now again, why the police station? Was she going to report a sexual assault? She never did. But somewhere between that time, she had to have eaten eggs. Now, from what I understand in my research, it takes, I think I have it written down somewhere, 6 to 8 hours for your food to pass through your stomach and your small intestine. So that means she had to have eaten between 10 o'clock on December 5th and December 8th when her body was found. Now, granted, if she was held captive for 2 days and was fed by her kidnappers, well, that changes the whole dynamics. You know what I mean? She could have ate on the 7th or the 8th, but that didn't happen. She was killed December 5th. So that means that she would have had to have eaten the eggs between 10 p.m. on December 4th and 5:30 a.m. on December 5th. Now, during those times, she was at the train stop restaurant or bar and the Presidential Academy Apartments. That's the only places that we know that she was. So where did she get those eggs? She surely wouldn't have been eating eggs at the train stop while she was drinking alcohol, right? So you could probably rule that out. At the party, it is possible that she ate eggs at that party, right? No one ever said that. And none of the people that were ever interviewed there said that. Now, maybe they weren't asked that question. Maybe this whole Quaalude and eggs key clue is irrelevant. Maybe somehow it got mixed up, right? That because we don't have any autopsy report to show that conclusively. So normally I wouldn't even consider it in an assessment. Yet this is so powerful that 3 of the siblings remember that. Why would they remember that if it wasn't true? So if that's the case, where did she get the Quaaludes and eggs? Well, the Quaaludes is pretty significant. It's why victimology is important. Her victimology shows that she didn't do drugs. Now, she was very intoxicated that night by all accounts. Could she have tried it for the first time? Absolutely. She's 19. Okay? Could she have been drugged? Absolutely. Could somebody at the Presidential Academy Apartments made her eggs because she was hungry and put Quaaludes in it? Certainly. Wouldn't be the first time. But yet, there's no indication that she had eggs at that apartment. And according to everybody's account, she was not comfortable there. There was no other girls there. There was only guys. She realized that when she got there. That things just... She didn't want to be there. She made a statement after she went into the bedroom to lay down, or we don't really know why she went into that bedroom. But when she went into that bedroom, 1 or more individuals went in there to have sex with her. To the point where she came out and made the statement, if you guys just let me leave, I'll have sex with all of you. Now, do we believe that statement? I mean, that's up for interpretation, right? But somebody that was interviewed, that was there, said she said that. Again, she leaves. Doesn't sound like somebody to me that's going to be eating anything there, especially eggs. But remember where she was dropped off at by the 2 truck drivers. First truck driver, and I think the name is Gerlich, truck driver, took her to the entrance of his employees. And then he was coming back from a delivery and a truck's going out. And the truck that's going out picks her up and drops her off in front of the police station, in front of, I believe, a Dairy Queen restaurant was there at the time. But remember, Maria's restaurant, remember I said that yesterday, is also there. According to my research, Maria's restaurant opened up at 5 a.m. It's cold out. It's December in Massachusetts. The truck driver that picked her up said, she told the police she was intoxicated and she was cold. Now she's a half a mile from home. Why not just go home? There's only one person that can answer that, and that's Theresa. But we still have an unquestioned topic, and that is eggs. That restaurant's right there. It's warm. She's hungry. Does she go into Maria's restaurant and eat those eggs? In my original assessment, I said yes. That made the most sense to me. And I'm going to stick with that assessment if the three siblings are right, and those eggs and quaaludes were found in her stomach during the autopsy. If not, we could go another route. But did something take place in that restaurant? Did she catch the eye of somebody in that restaurant at 5 o'clock in the morning before she made it home? She's last seen walking in front of the Dairy Queen, I believe, and I want to double check this. Now, as you know, tomorrow I'll have all this down to a T, but this is so important that I want to make sure that we got this right. Oh man, the more I look through this, there's so many different scenarios and different people that are involved. This reminds me a lot of Gail Matthews' case, where there's so many moving parts and so many different people that are suspects that it gets convoluted if you let it get convoluted to you, which I'm trying not to do. But she's last seen by a group of individuals that are carpooling on their way to work. But I want to find out exactly where that was, so that way you guys know. So I'm going to pause this until I figure it out. Okay, so Theresa is observed by 3 men carpooling to work at the General Motors plant. She's walking past the Dairy Queen towards Hartford Avenue. This is the last known sighting of Theresa. So she gets dropped off by the second driver, truck driver from Garreligs. He drops her off in front of the police station at the intersection of Route 40 and 126 at 5 a.m. She's next seen at 5:30 walking in that area towards her house. So you have about a 30-minute gap there. To me, that falls in line with possibly her going into the Maria's restaurant and eating. Now, I would have hoped that police at the time would have put that together. You know, if I'd have been an investigator at the time, I would have got the autopsy reports and I would have questioned the eggs. And then I would have went to Maria's restaurant and started questioning everybody there. We don't know whether the police did that. Because we don't even know that it's true. But I guarantee you the 3 siblings are not making that up. Theresa's siblings are not making that up. They heard that somewhere. So it's 5:30 in the morning. She's observed by these 3 guys going to work. Now, I know a lot of people are going to jump on that and say, well, were they checked out? I'm sure they were. I don't have any information that they were. But they were going to work. So I guess all you have to do is check their time cards and make sure that they were there. She's so close to home. And it's starting to get daylight out. But she doesn't make it home. Do those individuals from the Academy apartments, that's just like Don Miller, Presidential Arms, are they coming to look for her? Some of their statements, they say yes. There was an individual or 2 that went and looked for her. So, or did she catch somebody's eye in that restaurant who had nefarious activities on his mind? My original assessment was that somebody was in that restaurant. because I couple that with the 18 other murders around that area that were found off of an interstate where Theresa was found. But man, you're telling me that it's that bad of a coincidence that she is sexually assaulted by some people's accounts that were even there. Some people that were even there said she was sexually assaulted. But other people there said, no, it was consensual. But all this bad is happening to her. And it's just her unlucky day at Maria's restaurant where a serial killer picks her up at 5:30 in the morning. I don't know if I believe that anymore. I don't know. Now, the ligature has me concerned. And I'll get into that tomorrow in the deep dive. But usually coincidences I don't know. This is a tough one to figure out. But those quaaludes and eggs, that's a key clue. Key clue to at least where she was the last time that she was seen. Between 5 and 5:30 gap. How does she get the eggs in her stomach? Now, is it possible that she had eggs that morning and it's still in her system? Again, I'm not a medical expert. I'm going by my research that says that that's not possible. Yet, victimology would tell you that. What did she eat for breakfast? Did you guys have eggs in the house? That could eliminate that question right then and there. That's why the most mundane things that you think are not even relevant, and you think, I'm not even going to ask the family this because it makes no sense. What does it matter what she had for breakfast the day before? Well, now you know why it's important. I had said yesterday, it's important to know that where she worked. Penthouse sales. Now, I had to look up to see what they did. You know, penthouse sales. Some of you might think, oh, like Playboy. Penthouse. No, not that. Penthouse sales made, from what I understand, either a wire rope or a rope clothesline type of rope. Why is that important? That's right. The small, thin ligature that she was strangled with. So I'm sure some of you guys have gone into my book already and read this chapter and know what I'm thinking. And for good reason. Very confident about that assessment. However, there's also an alternate theory that certainly is a lot simpler. And that is people from those apartments followed her to make sure she didn't talk. But if that's the case, if they already sexually assaulted her, why is she found naked? Did they sexually assault her again? Very possible. So again, a lot of dynamics, a lot of moving parts here. But we're going to try to work through it the best we can. And we'll go from there. So that's my key clue. I hope that made sense to you guys. And I'll talk to you tomorrow for the deep dive on the unsolved murder of Theresa Corley. Main's out.
All fear of